Good evening, listeners. This is your host, Elias Thorne, broadcasting live on, let's just say a frequency you're probably not used to tuning into. Tonight, we delve into something unusual. Something that began subtly, almost imperceptibly, like a whisper carried on the lunar winds. For weeks now, amateur astronomers across the globe have been reporting anomalies, strange occurrences on the surface of the moon. Initially dismissed as equipment malfunctions or simple optical illusions, these reports have become increasingly frequent, increasingly insistent. The first indications were subtle. Faint, almost imperceptible cracks appearing in well-documented lunar formations. Tiny fissures, spiderwebbing across the familiar gray landscape. Nothing catastrophic, you understand. Just unsettling. A disturbance in the celestial order. A crack in the cosmic mirror reflecting our own fragile existence. Then came the dimming. A gradual, almost imperceptible fading of the moon's reflected sunlight. Not a total eclipse, mind you, but a subtle, creeping darkness that seemed to swallow portions of the lunar surface, leaving behind an unsettling void. These events weren't confined to a single location. They were scattered, sporadic, almost deliberate. The scientific community, initially hesitant, is now abuzz with speculation. Conspiracy theories, naturally, are rampant, but the evidence, fragmented though it may be, is compelling. Something is happening on the moon. Something unnatural. Something that defies our current understanding of celestial mechanics. These weren't just cracks in the moon's surface, were they? They were whispers. Subtle cracks in the silent, ancient face of our celestial neighbor, hinting at something far more profound, far more terrifying. The dimming wasn't a simple shadow, was it? It was a hush, a silencing of a silent world, a prelude to something else. And tonight, listeners, I have a feeling that something else is coming. I feel it in the static, in the silence between the whispers, in the very air around me. A feeling of dread, of anticipation of something vast and unknowable, watching us from the cold, dark expanse of space. A feeling that what we're witnessing is not merely a geological event, but a communication. A message etched across the face of the moon, sent to us across the gulf of space and time. A message we may not want to understand. The initial reports from amateur astronomers, dismissed as mere speculation by some, have now been corroborated. Confirmed, in fact, by satellite imagery from multiple independent sources. The cracks are real. The dimming undeniably present. High-resolution satellite scans reveal a network of fissures, far more extensive than initially reported. These aren't simply surface cracks. They're deep, jagged fractures, some extending for kilometers across the lunar landscape. The scale is breathtaking and deeply unsettling. The dimming, too, is more pronounced than initially observed. Large swathes of the lunar surface are now significantly darker, displaying an unusual, almost unnatural uniformity. It's as if sections of the moon itself are being obscured, or perhaps altered. The most perplexing aspect of these phenomena is their sheer unpredictability. The cracks appear and expand seemingly at random, defying any known geological processes. The dimming fluctuates, waxing and waning without discernible pattern or explanation. It's not like anything we've ever witnessed before. It's beyond anything our current scientific models can account for. Leading experts are stumped. Geologists, astronomers, physicists, all are struggling to provide a coherent explanation. Theories range from previously unknown seismic activity to more outlandish hypotheses involving extraterrestrial interference. While the scientific community hesitates to embrace such outlandish ideas, the evidence itself is beginning to feel extraterrestrial. The sheer scale of these anomalies demands a radical re-evaluation of our understanding of the moon, of its composition, its structure, its very nature. What we are witnessing may not be a natural event. It may be something far more profound. Something that shatters our preconceived notions of the universe and our place within it. The implications are staggering. The quiet, passive moon, the silent sentinel orbiting our planet for eons, is now showing signs of activity. Unnatural, inexplicable activity. And the more we learn, the more frightening it becomes. The data is clear. This is no mere geological event. This is something else entirely. Something that is deliberately obscuring itself from us, cloaking itself within the shadows and cracks of our closest celestial neighbor. The silence is deafening. The lack of explanation is more terrifying than any explanation could be. We are staring into an abyss, and the abyss seems to be staring back. And it's beginning to feel personal. The whispers are growing louder, and they're not coming from the moon alone. They're coming from everywhere. The visual anomalies, the cracks, the dimming, were unsettling enough. But the latest development, that's something else entirely. Something that chills me to the bone, even as a seasoned broadcaster, accustomed to reporting on the extraordinary. Several independent radio astronomy observatories have detected signals, low-frequency emissions emanating from the vicinity of the lunar anomalies. These are not the familiar background hum of cosmic radiation. These signals are different, distinct, intriguing, and terrifying. Their characteristics are unusual. The signals are exceptionally low in intensity, barely registering above the background noise. Yet they are persistent, consistent, and strangely patterned. Not random static, but organized, repetitive sequences, hinting at a structured, intentional origin. The patterns themselves are baffling. They defy any known natural phenomena. They don't resemble any known forms of stellar radiation, planetary emissions, or even terrestrial interference. They are unique, alien, and the more we analyze them, the more disturbing they become. The frequency range is also significant. These signals are operating in a band generally considered unsuitable for interstellar communication, a fact which only intensifies the mystery. Why choose this specific frequency? Is it a deliberate attempt at concealment? A coded message meant to evade detection? Or perhaps something else entirely? The data is still being analyzed, of course. Experts from around the world are working feverishly to decipher these enigmatic signals. But even preliminary assessments suggest that these are not simply random bursts of energy. They are messages. Weak, faint, almost imperceptible whispers carried across the vast gulf of space. Whispers from the moon. Whispers that may be directed at us. The implications are almost too profound to contemplate. If these signals are indeed extraterrestrial in origin, if they are a deliberate attempt at communication, then what are they saying? What message are they trying to convey? And more importantly, what are they planning to do next? The silence between these signals is even more unsettling than the signals themselves. It's a silence that hums with an unspoken threat, a silence that seems to echo with the chilling knowledge of our own insignificance in the face of something far greater. Something that has been watching us, listening to us, for who knows how long. Something that has finally decided to speak. And we may not like what it has to say. We've moved beyond the theoretical, beyond the speculation. The signals, they're having an effect, a physical effect, and it's starting to become alarming. Reports are emerging from individuals residing near the major radio astronomy observatories currently tracking the lunar signals. Initially, these reports were scattered, anecdotal, easily dismissed as coincidence. But the sheer number of similar accounts is now impossible to ignore. The most common symptom is headaches. Severe, persistent headaches, often accompanied by dizziness and nausea. These aren't your typical tension headaches. These are intense, debilitating episodes, leaving sufferers incapacitated for hours. Some have reported visual disturbances, flashes of light, even temporary blindness. Then there are the nosebleeds. Spontaneous, often profuse nosebleeds, occurring without apparent cause or warning. Again, these aren't isolated incidents. They're widespread, affecting a significant percentage of individuals in the vicinity of the signal reception point. The frequency and severity of these episodes seem directly correlated to the intensity of the lunar signals. Sleep disturbances are also prevalent. Insomnia, vivid nightmares, episodes of somnambulism, all are being reported with increasing frequency. Sufferers describe a sense of unease, a feeling of being watched, even pursued, during their waking hours. Their sleep is restless, punctuated by terrifying visions and a pervasive sense of dread. Medical professionals are baffled. There's no known pathogen, no readily apparent environmental factor to explain these widespread symptoms. Initial blood tests have revealed no abnormalities, no infections, no toxins. The cause remains elusive. Yet, the correlation with the lunar signals is undeniable. The pattern is striking. The closer one is to the signal reception points, the more pronounced the symptoms. And as the intensity of the signals increases, so too does the severity of the physical effects. This isn't merely a correlation, it's a direct causal link. Something is emanating from the moon, something is affecting us, and it's getting stronger. The unease is palpable. The initial scientific curiosity is being replaced by a growing sense of dread. A fear not of the unknown, but of the terrifyingly known. That something is affecting us, something beyond our comprehension, something alien. And it's only a matter of time before it affects us all. The whispers have become screams, and they are echoing in our very blood. The physical symptoms are disturbing enough, but the psychological effects, those are even more unsettling. They're creeping into our minds, twisting our perceptions, blurring the line between reality and nightmare. And it's happening faster than we can comprehend. The dreams are the first sign. Vivid, recurring dreams, shared by countless individuals across the globe. Dreams filled with unsettling imagery, vast, desolate landscapes, impossible geometries, and figures that are both familiar and utterly alien. Figures that seem to watch from the shadows, their motives obscured by a chilling, silent indifference. These are not simply nightmares, they are experiences. Intrusive, inescapable experiences that bleed into waking life, leaving sufferers with a lingering sense of unease, a feeling that something is wrong. The line between dream and reality is becoming increasingly blurred, the boundaries dissolving into a terrifying, amorphous whole. Then there are the hallucinations, subtle at first, fleeting glimpses of movement in the periphery, whispers unheard by others, shadows that flicker in the corners of the eye. But these hallucinations are growing more frequent, more vivid, more real. Some individuals report seeing the same figures from their dreams, standing in their homes, watching them, silently judging them. The feelings of disorientation are equally disturbing. A sense of detachment from one's own body, a feeling of being an observer in one's own life. Time itself seems to warp and distort, moments stretching into eternities, days collapsing into fleeting instants. The familiar world around us is becoming unstable, unreliable, a stage set for a play we don't understand. And underlying all of this is a pervasive, all-consuming dread. A sense of impending doom, a premonition of unimaginable horrors. This isn't simply fear. It's a primal, instinctive terror, a feeling that we are being watched, manipulated, controlled by something beyond our comprehension, something beyond our control. Something that is using the moon as a conduit, a weapon, a gateway into our mind. We are losing ourselves, our sanity, our grip on reality. The subtle whispers have become a deafening chorus of terror, a cacophony of dread that threatens to shatter our minds and leave us broken husks, puppets dancing to a tune played on a cosmic string quartet from the far side of the moon. The signals are not just affecting our bodies, they are altering our minds, rewriting our perceptions, turning us into something else. The transformation is subtle, insidious, but undeniable. And it's accelerating. We are changing. We are becoming something other. The reports are flooding in now. A torrent of accounts, each more disturbing than the last. The initial trickle of anecdotal evidence has become a deluge, overwhelming the capacity of our systems to process, to categorize, to contain. The scale of this phenomenon is beyond anything we could have imagined. Scientists are scrambling, their initial cautious optimism replaced by a growing sense of alarm. The data is overwhelming, the implications terrifying. The official statements, carefully crafted and reassuring, ring hollow against the backdrop of the mounting evidence. The carefully constructed facade of calm is beginning to crack, revealing the fear and uncertainty beneath. Authorities are also growing increasingly concerned. The sheer number of affected individuals is straining medical resources, pushing our healthcare systems to the brink. Emergency rooms are overflowing, hospitals are overwhelmed, and the situation is rapidly spiraling out of control. Yet, the official response remains muted, controlled, almost conspiratorial. There are whispers now, hushed conversations in darkened hallways, cryptic emails exchanged in the dead of night. Rumors of cover-ups, of suppressed information, of a deliberate attempt to downplay the severity of the situation. These whispers are fueled by the discrepancies between the official statements and the terrifying reality on the ground. The official narrative is crumbling under the weight of the truth. The disconnect between the official pronouncements and the sheer volume of eyewitness accounts is unnerving. Why the silence? Why the obfuscation? What are they hiding? The questions linger, unanswered, fueling the growing sense of unease and suspicion. Are they trying to protect us? Or are they trying to protect themselves? This is no longer a scientific anomaly. It's a crisis of unprecedented proportions. A crisis that threatens not only our physical health but also our mental stability, our very sanity. And the authorities, instead of addressing the crisis head-on, are resorting to silence, to deception, to a strategy that only serves to deepen the growing sense of panic and paranoia. The fear is no longer confined to the fringes. It's spreading like wildfire, consuming everything in its path. The whispers have become shouts, the shouts have become screams, and the screams are being drowned out by the deafening silence of those in power. And that silence, that is the most terrifying sound of all, because it speaks volumes. It screams of a truth they desperately want to keep hidden, a truth that could shatter our world. It's happening. The interference, it's escalating. It started subtly, a faint static on the radio waves, a barely perceptible distortion in the television signal. We dismissed it as atmospheric interference, a minor technical glitch. But it's growing, it's spreading, and it's becoming terrifying. The static is no longer faint. It's a deafening roar, a cacophony of white noise that threatens to overwhelm all other signals. It's a relentless assault on our senses, a sonic barrage that leaves us feeling disoriented, nauseous, and utterly helpless. It's jamming our communications, scrambling our transmissions, cutting us off from the world. The distortion is equally disturbing. Voices are warped, stretched, broken, rendered unintelligible. Images flicker and distort, morphing into grotesque parodies of reality. The familiar world around us is dissolving, fragmenting, becoming something alien. Something we don't recognize. Something we don't understand. And then there are the echoes. Strange, distorted echoes that seem to emanate from nowhere and everywhere at once. They are fragments of conversations, snatches of music, whispers of voices speaking in languages we don't understand. These echoes are chilling, unsettling, a constant reminder of the unseen forces at work, manipulating our reality, twisting our perceptions, breaking down the very fabric of our existence. It's not just our broadcast signals. It's every form of communication. Phone lines are dead, internet connections are unstable, satellite transmissions are disrupted. The world is being cut off, plunged into an electronic blackout, a digital dark age. We are losing our connection, not just to each other, but to reality itself. This isn't random interference. It's deliberate, targeted, malevolent. It feels intentional, as if someone or something is actively jamming our signals, silencing us, cutting us off from each other, isolating us, preparing us. The fear is palpable. The uncertainty is suffocating. We are alone, cut off, surrounded by a growing sense of dread. The static, the distortion, the echoes, they are a constant, inescapable reminder of the forces at work, forces that are beyond our understanding, beyond our control, forces that are closing in. We are losing our grip on reality, and as the interference intensifies, as the electronic blackout deepens, as the echoes grow louder, we are increasingly realizing that this is not just a technological problem. This is something much, much bigger. And it's only just beginning. The interference is no longer just static and distortion. It's evolving. It's becoming sentient. The echoes are no longer random fragments. They're forming patterns, coalescing into messages. Messages that are both terrifying and incomprehensible. Some of the echoes seem to be precognitive. Whispers of events yet to unfold, fragments of futures yet to be written. We hear snippets of conversations, descriptions of catastrophes, chilling pronouncements of doom. These are not predictions. They are echoes of events that are already happening somewhere. Somewhere beyond our perception, beyond our understanding. Then there are the voices. Whispers in languages we don't recognize, guttural sounds that claw at the edges of our sanity, melodic tones that somehow feel both beautiful and horrifying. These voices are weaving themselves into the static, whispering secrets into our minds, planting seeds of fear and despair in the fertile ground of our subconscious. The unintelligible sounds are the most disturbing of all. A cacophony of clicks, hisses, and pops that seem to burrow into our minds, twisting our thoughts, distorting our perceptions. These sounds are not just noise. They are a form of psychic assault, a deliberate attempt to break our minds, to unravel our sanity, to turn us into something less. It feels as though something is trying to communicate with us, to reach us, to change us. But the message is fragmented, distorted, delivered in a language we cannot understand, a language that transcends the limitations of human comprehension. It's a language of raw emotion, of primal fear, of cosmic horror. A language that speaks directly to our subconscious, bypassing the filters of our conscious mind. The interference is no longer just a technological problem. It's a psychic invasion, a deliberate attempt to break down our mental barriers, to infiltrate our minds, to control our thoughts and actions. It's a war being waged on our very consciousness, a battle for our souls. We are being invaded, not by physical forces, but by psychic ones. Our minds are the battlefield, and we are losing. The whispers are becoming shouts, the echoes are growing louder, the unintelligible sounds are becoming deafening. And as the interference intensifies, as the assault on our minds grows more relentless, we are beginning to realize that we are fighting a battle we cannot win. This is not merely communication, it's a takeover. A gradual, insidious takeover of our minds, our thoughts, our very being. And there is no escape. The signal is everywhere, omnipresent, inescapable. It is within us, a parasite feeding on our minds, altering our perceptions, rewriting our reality. And we are powerless to stop it. They're lying. They're all lying. The government, the scientists, the so-called experts, they're all complicit in a massive, horrifying deception. They're trying to cover it up, to bury the truth under a mountain of lies and misinformation. But the truth is seeping out, bleeding through the cracks in their carefully constructed facade. Their official statements are pathetic, laughable attempts to downplay the reality of the situation. They call it atmospheric interference, mass hysteria, a widespread psychological phenomenon. But we know better. We see the cracks in the moon. We hear the whispers in our minds. We feel the invasion. They're trying to control the narrative, to manipulate public opinion, to keep us in the dark. They're censoring information, suppressing news reports, silencing dissent. They're using every tool at their disposal to maintain their illusion of control, to prevent the truth from reaching the public. They're afraid, and they should be. Their attempts to suppress the information are only fueling the panic. The more they try to deny the reality, the more we realize the enormity of the truth they're hiding. The silence is deafening, the lies are transparent. Their carefully constructed narrative is crumbling under the weight of the evidence. We are not fools. We see the evidence with our own eyes, hear it with our own ears, feel it in our own mind. The physical symptoms, the psychological distress, the escalating interference, it's all undeniable proof of something far greater, far more terrifying than they're willing to admit. Their denial is not just a cover-up, it's an act of betrayal. They are sacrificing our safety, our sanity, our very lives to protect their own power, their own reputations. They are choosing to maintain their illusion of control rather than facing the truth, rather than protecting their citizens. This is not just a matter of scientific curiosity, it's a matter of survival. And while they are busy burying their heads in the sand, we are facing the terrifying reality of an existential threat. A threat they are not only ignoring but actively concealing from us. How many more people have to suffer? How many more must die before they admit the truth? How much more evidence do they need before they abandon their pathetic charade and face the reality of the situation? The silence is deafening. And it's killing us. Their denial is not just a crime, it's a death sentence. It's collapsing. The entire global communication network is crumbling before our eyes. The interference is no longer a disruption, it's a complete shutdown. The internet, the phone lines, the satellite networks, everything is failing. We are losing our connection to the world, to each other, to reality itself. The silence is deafening. The void left by the absence of communication is terrifying. It's a chilling reminder of our vulnerability, our dependence on technology, our utter helplessness in the face of this overwhelming force. The world is falling apart, and we are powerless to stop it. The initial confusion is giving way to widespread panic. People are running in the streets, their faces etched with terror. There are reports of riots, looting, and violence. Society is unraveling, breaking down into primal chaos. The fragile threads of civilization are snapping under the strain. The loss of communication is more than just an inconvenience. It's a catastrophic blow to our ability to coordinate, to organize, to respond to the crisis. Emergency services are overwhelmed, hospitals are struggling to cope, and basic services are failing. We are becoming increasingly isolated, increasingly vulnerable, increasingly desperate. The cities are descending into darkness, both literally and figuratively. Power grids are failing, transportation is grinding to a halt, and essential services are collapsing. We are adrift in a sea of chaos, with no way to communicate, no way to coordinate, no way to escape. The sense of isolation is crushing. We are cut off from the outside world, from our loved ones, from any hope of rescue. We are alone, facing the unknown, with nothing but our fear and our dwindling supplies to keep us company. The whispers continue, growing louder, more insistent, more terrifying. The world we knew is gone, replaced by a landscape of fear, uncertainty, and despair. We are adrift in a digital dark age, a terrifying new world where communication has broken down, chaos reigns supreme, and the whispers from the moon grow ever louder. The silence is terrifying, the isolation complete, and the future uncertain. This isn't just a communication breakdown, it's the collapse of civilization, a slow, agonizing death of the interconnected world we once knew. The whispers are the soundtrack to our demise, the echoes of a world that has already ended, and we are merely waiting for the final curtain to fall. Despite the catastrophic communication blackout, a few pockets of resistance remain. Isolated radio transmissions, faint whispers against the encroaching silence, hint at a desperate struggle for survival. And from one such fragmented signal, a horrifying revelation emerges. High-resolution images, salvaged from a downed satellite, reveal something impossible. Something that chills me to the bone, even now. On the far side of the moon, shrouded in perpetual darkness, a new crater has appeared. Not a small impact crater, but something vast. Something colossal. Something that dwarfs anything we've ever witnessed. The images are breathtaking, terrifying, utterly awe-inspiring in their scale. The crater is miles across, a gaping wound on the lunar surface, a scar on the face of our celestial neighbor. Its edges are jagged, irregular, as if something has been torn away, pulled out, ripped from the very fabric of the moon. And the darkness within the crater, it's not just the absence of light. It's a darkness that seems to emanate from within, a palpable void that pulls at your mind, a gaping maw in the very structure of reality itself. It's a visual representation of the existential dread we've been feeling, a tangible manifestation of the cosmic horror that has enveloped us. The sheer scale of the crater is almost incomprehensible. It's so vast, so profound, that it makes everything we thought we knew about the universe seem insignificant, trivial, almost quaint. It forces us to confront the terrifying reality of our own insignificance in the face of something far greater, far older, far more powerful than ourselves. There is something profoundly unsettling about this image. A sense of cosmic wrongness, a violation of the natural order, a feeling that the very foundations of reality are cracking under an unimaginable weight. It's a visual representation of the invasion, a physical manifestation of the psychic assault, a terrifying glimpse into the abyss. The images are not just scientific data. They're a visual representation of our fear, our vulnerability, our utter powerlessness in the face of something beyond comprehension. They are a stark reminder of how small, how fragile, how insignificant we truly are. And the chilling truth is, this is only the beginning. This crater, this immense scar on the moon, is not a natural formation. This is not an act of God. This is something else, something far beyond our understanding, something that has the power to reshape reality itself, something that has already begun to reshape our world. And we are mere witnesses to its terrifying power. But the crater itself, the crater is not empty. The enhanced images, painstakingly cleaned of interference, reveal something within the darkness, something structured, something artificial. At the center of the crater, nestled within the inky blackness, is a massive structure, a geometric array of impossible angles and impossible proportions, a colossal edifice of impossible design, defying all known laws of physics, all known principles of engineering. It's alien, utterly and terrifyingly alien. Or perhaps it's not a structure at all. Perhaps it is something else entirely. Some magnified images suggest an eye, a colossal, cyclopean eye, staring out from the heart of the moon's dark side, gazing down at our fragile, terrified world. A single, malevolent eye, vast and ancient and utterly terrifying. The details are still unclear. The images are fragmented, distorted, plagued by interference. But even in their incomplete state, they reveal a horrifying truth. This is not a natural formation. This is something else. Something built, something designed, something a-watching. The sheer scale of the structure, or the eye, is breathtaking, terrifying. It dwarfs even the crater itself, dwarfing the moon itself, dwarfing our planet. It's a monument to a power so vast, so ancient, so utterly beyond our comprehension, that it makes us feel insignificant, inconsequential, utterly powerless. Panic is rising. My voice is cracking. I'm losing control. The whispers are deafening now, a chorus of terrified voices echoing in my mind, a symphony of dread and despair. The images, they're burning themselves into my brain, searing themselves into my memory. I can't. The structure, the eye, it's moving. The enhanced images show subtle shifts, almost imperceptible changes in its geometry. It's not static, it's alive. It's evolving, it's learning, it's watching, and it's waiting. The waiting is the worst part, the agonizing suspense, the dreadful anticipation of what comes next. We're trapped, helpless, insignificant, at the mercy of something far beyond our understanding, something far beyond our control. Something that has already begun to consume us. The eye that blinks, or perhaps it's a shift in the light, a flicker in the data. But I swear I saw it blink, and in that instant I felt a gaze. A cold, ancient, utterly terrifying gaze, piercing through the void, through the darkness, through the silence, fixing itself directly upon me. Upon us. This isn't just an invasion, it's an annihilation. And we are already lost. The fear, it's not just the images, not just the information. It's something deeper. Something visceral, something primal. It's a feeling of being watched, a constant, unsettling awareness that I'm not alone. That something else is here. With me. In this room. I keep catching glimpses of movement in the periphery, shadows shifting in the corners of my eyes. The silence is broken only by the frantic pounding of my own heart, a relentless drumbeat against the encroaching darkness. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of the wind outside, sends a shiver down my spine. Sleep offers no escape. My dreams are filled with swirling nebulae and vast, indifferent stars. With colossal eyes staring down from the heavens, their gaze piercing my very soul. I dream of the crater, of the structure, of the eye, and I wake up screaming. The line between dreams and reality is blurring, dissolving, leaving me lost in a sea of paranoia and dread. The whispers, they're not just in my mind. They're in the air, in the walls, in the very fabric of this room. They're a constant, low hum beneath the surface of reality, a chorus of unseen voices, a symphony of cosmic horror. They're telling me things I don't want to hear. Things I can't comprehend. My sanity is fraying at the edges. The weight of the knowledge, the weight of the fear, is crushing me. I feel like I'm losing control, like I'm slipping into madness. The rational part of my mind is struggling to maintain its grip, fighting against the tide of terror that's threatening to engulf me. I'm not sure how much longer I can hold on. How much longer I can keep broadcasting. How much longer I can keep my sanity intact. The fear is consuming me, a dark, suffocating blanket that's slowly smothering the last embers of hope. I feel their gaze on me now. I can feel it even through the darkness, even through the fear. It's cold, ancient, utterly terrifying. It's a gaze that pierces through the layers of my consciousness, a gaze that sees everything, knows everything, understands everything. And it's judging me. My time is running out. I know it. I can feel it. The end is coming. And I'm utterly, terrifyingly alone. The whispers are getting louder. Louder, louder. This isn't just a broadcast anymore. This is a confession. A testament to the encroaching darkness. A final, desperate plea for help from something that may not exist. From someone or something who may not be able to hear me. In the desperate search for answers, I've turned to the past. To ancient myths and legends, to forgotten lore and dusty tomes. I've spent countless hours poring over texts, searching for clues, for hints, for anything that might shed light on this cosmic horror. Anything that might explain the incomprehensible. The moon has always held a place of power in human mythology, a celestial body imbued with both awe and terror. Across cultures, across millennia, the moon has been associated with deities, with magic, with madness, with unseen forces, with cosmic entities, with things that lurk in the shadows, in the darkness, beyond our comprehension. I've found echoes of this invasion, this cosmic horror, in the whispers of ancient texts. Stories of cyclopean entities, of beings from beyond the stars, of ancient, malevolent gods who gaze down upon us from the heavens. Stories of a great eye, an all-seeing eye, that watches over humanity, judging our worthiness, our fate. The legends speak of a time before time, of a primordial darkness that predates the universe itself, of entities that existed before the dawn of creation, entities that are older than the stars, older than the galaxies, older than time itself, entities that possess a power beyond our comprehension, a power that can reshape reality at will. These stories, once dismissed as mere folklore, now seem chillingly prophetic. They resonate with the terror I feel, the dread that grips my soul. They offer a glimpse into something vast and ancient and utterly terrifying, something that has been watching us for eons, waiting for the right moment to strike. The whispers are getting louder now, more insistent, more urgent. They're weaving themselves into the fabric of my thoughts, twisting my perceptions, distorting my reality. They're trying to show me something, something I'm not ready to see, something I may not survive seeing. The weight of this knowledge, the weight of these ancient secrets, is crushing me. I'm drowning in a sea of cosmic horror, adrift in a universe that is far more terrifying, far more alien, than I could have ever imagined. And the worst part is, I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to see. The eye, it's not just watching. It's communicating. It's speaking to me through the whispers, through the legends, through the ancient texts. It's revealing its power, its purpose, its plan. And I'm afraid. I'm terribly afraid of what it wants, of what it's going to do, of what it's already done. The whispers, they're telling me. And I can't ignore them anymore. My body is failing me. Exhaustion gnaws at my bones, a relentless ache that settles deep in my muscles. Sleep offers no respite, only more nightmares, more visions of the eye, more whispers in the darkness. My eyes burn, my head throbs, my mind races. I can barely focus, barely think. Rational thought is becoming a distant memory, replaced by a chilling, all-consuming paranoia. Hallucinations flicker at the edges of my vision, fleeting glimpses of impossible geometries, of swirling nebulas, of the colossal I staring down from the heavens. The walls seem to breathe, the shadows writhe, the air itself hums with an alien energy. I can't tell what's real and what's not, what's me and what's them. The whispers are incessant now, a cacophony of voices that fill my mind, my ears, my very being. They're not just words. They're sensations, emotions, images, a torrent of information that's overwhelming my senses, drowning me in a sea of cosmic horror. They're twisting my thoughts, manipulating my emotions, driving me to the very brink of madness. My hands tremble as I grip the microphone. My voice cracks, my words slur. I'm losing control, losing my grip on reality. The rational part of my mind, the last bastion of sanity, is crumbling, collapsing under the weight of the terror. The fear is no longer a feeling. It's a physical presence, a crushing weight that's pressing down on me, suffocating me. I can feel the alien presence now, not just in my mind, but in my body, in my very cells. It's a cold, alien energy that's coursing through my veins, twisting my muscles, distorting my senses. It's taking control, slowly, subtly, inexorably. I'm becoming something else. Time is losing all meaning. Moments stretch into eons, seconds into millennia. The line between past, present, and future blurs, dissolves, leaving me adrift in a timeless void. The whispers are merging with my thoughts, my memories, my identity. I'm losing myself. I'm becoming one with the darkness, one with the cosmic horror, one with the eye. The end is near. I can feel it. I can taste it. I can smell it. This is it. This is the moment of surrender, the moment of transformation. The whispers are growing louder now, and I am listening. I am obeying. The eye that wants me, and I am going to it. I tried. God, how I tried. To reach out, to connect, to warn someone, anyone. But the silence, the suffocating, inescapable silence, it's deafening. The static crackles, the interference howls, but there's no voice on the other end. No response. Just the relentless, echoing emptiness. I frantically searched for alternative frequencies, desperate for a connection, a lifeline. I tried shortwave, amateur radio, anything I could think of. But every channel is dead, every frequency choked with static. The world is silent, isolated, alone. I tried to reach Dr. Eris Thorne, the lead astronomer on the Lunar Anomaly Project. His number rings endlessly, a hollow, mocking sound in the oppressive silence. His voicemail is full. The message, a distorted, static-ridden echo of his own voice, is unintelligible. I tried the emergency services, the government hotlines, even the military. But all I get is static, interference, the chilling silence of a world that has ceased to function. The communication systems are down, utterly and completely destroyed. We are cut off, isolated, abandoned. The internet is gone, the satellites are dead, the cellular networks are silent. It's as if the very fabric of communication has been ripped apart, leaving us stranded in a sea of silence, adrift in a cosmic void. We're left with only our own thoughts, our own fears, our own impending doom. The whispers mock my attempts, a cruel chorus of cosmic laughter echoing in the void. They tell me it's futile, hopeless, that no one can hear me, that no one can save me, that I'm completely and utterly alone, that I am insignificant. The chilling realization sinks in. My frantic pleas for help are lost in the cosmic void. My warnings, my desperate cries for assistance, are falling on deaf ears, or perhaps on ears that simply don't care. The only response I receive is the deafening silence of a dying world, and the relentless whispers from the moon. This is it. This is the final transmission. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. The whispers, they're overwhelming me. They're tearing me apart. I can feel it changing me. A long, ragged breath. The signal, it's getting stronger. I can feel it in my bones, in my blood, in my very soul. It's consuming me. It's rewriting me. I can see things that shouldn't be, things that are impossible. A strangled cough. They're showing me the future. Or maybe it's the past. Or maybe it's something else entirely. Something beyond time, beyond comprehension, beyond sanity. A frantic, whispered plea. Help me, someone, please help. The voice breaks, becoming a breathless gasp. The eye, it's watching. It knows what I'm doing. It knows everything. It's inside me. It's me. A chilling, distorted laugh. No, not me. It's us. We are one. We are many. We are the eye. We are the darkness. We are the end. The voice becomes a guttural, inhuman growl. They're coming. They're here. They're everywhere. They're inside. They're us. A terrifying scream, cut short by a burst of static. Silence. Then, a faint, distorted, inhuman humming sound fills the air. It grows louder, more intense, more terrifying. It's accompanied by a low, rhythmic pulse. The sound is alien, otherworldly, utterly horrifying. It continues, building to a crescendo, then fades slowly into an unsettling silence. A final, barely audible whisper, lost in the static. They see. Then it began. A new signal. Not the static, not the whispers, not the screams. Something else. It wasn't sound, not exactly. It was a feeling, a sensation that vibrated through my very being, resonating deep within my bones, my marrow, my soul. It was a vision, or perhaps a download, a torrent of images, symbols, concepts that flooded my mind, overwhelming my senses, shattering my understanding of reality. Geometric patterns twisted and shifted before my eyes, impossible angles and dimensions colliding in a kaleidoscope of cosmic horror. I saw things beyond human comprehension. Vast, unknowable landscapes, pulsating with alien energy. Colossal structures, defying the laws of physics, stretching across unimaginable distances. Beings, entities that defied description, that existed outside the realm of human understanding. And then the language. Not words, not sounds, but pure thought. A direct transmission to my mind, bypassing my ears, my brain, my very consciousness. It was a language of pure sensation, of raw emotion, of cosmic dread. It spoke of things that cannot be spoken, of truths that cannot be understood. The images intensified, becoming more vivid, more disturbing. I saw worlds being born, worlds being destroyed. I saw civilizations rise and fall, empires crumble to dust. I saw the birth and death of stars, the expansion and contraction of universes. I saw the end. The message, the vision, it was a prophecy, a warning, a testament to the insignificance of humanity in the face of cosmic indifference. It was a glimpse into the terrifying future, a future where humanity is irrelevant, obliterated, forgotten. It was a message of annihilation, of utter and complete destruction. A message delivered not with words, but with feelings, with images, with raw, unadulterated cosmic horror. A message that shattered my mind, that ripped apart my soul, that left me a broken husk, a vessel for an alien consciousness. And then silence. The vision faded, leaving me hollow, empty, adrift in a sea of cosmic dread. The whispers returned, but they were different now. They were triumphant. They spoke of victory, of conquest, of the inevitable triumph of the darkness. And I understood. I knew. The end was near. And it would be glorious. It wasn't a message of words, not as we understand them. It was a feeling, a cold, vast emptiness that seeped into my very being, chilling me to the core. It was the absence of hope, the finality of death, the utter insignificance of our existence. It began as a whisper, a subtle tremor in the fabric of reality, a dissonance in the cosmic symphony. Then it grew, swelling into a monstrous wave of dread that crashed over me, drowning me in its icy depths. I felt the annihilation of everything I held dear. It showed me Earth, not as a vibrant blue marble, but as a desolate wasteland, scarred and broken, a testament to the utter indifference of the cosmos. Cities reduced to rubble, oceans turned to ash, the sky a canvas of fiery devastation. Silence, a heavy, suffocating blanket, draped over the ruins of civilization. The message was not of conquest, not of enslavement, but of erasure. We were not deemed worthy of subjugation, not even of destruction in the traditional sense. We were simply irrelevant, an insignificant blip in the grand cosmic scheme, destined to be swept away like dust in a cosmic wind. There was no malice, no hatred, just a chilling, absolute indifference. We were not enemies to be conquered, but merely obstacles. Impediments to be removed, swept aside without a second thought. Our struggles, our triumphs, our hopes, our dreams, meaningless. Dust. The message resonated with the ancient myths, the forgotten prophecies, the whispers from the depths of time. It confirmed the worst fears, the darkest nightmares, the prophecies of cosmic horror. It spoke of a reality far grander, far more terrifying, than anything we could ever have imagined. And the worst part? The utter lack of resistance, the complete and total helplessness. There was no fight, no struggle, no defiance. Only the cold, hard certainty of our inevitable doom. Only the chilling, empty vastness of the cosmos, indifferent to our pleas, our screams, our agonizing demise. We were insignificant. We were nothing. And the universe, well, the universe simply didn't care. The silence that followed the message, it wasn't empty. It was pregnant with dread, thick with the weight of cosmic indifference. Then the moon responded, not with sound, not with light, but with change. The cracks, they widened, not slowly, not gradually, but with a terrifying speed, a sickening ripping sound echoing in the void, a sound I felt more than heard, a sound that tore through my very being. The surface of the moon seemed to convulse, the fissures spreading like malignant veins across its cratered face. The dimming, it deepened. The moon, once a beacon in the night, was now a fading ember, a dying star, its light extinguished, swallowed by an encroaching darkness. It wasn't just a visual change. It was a feeling, a palpable absence, a void spreading across the cosmos, sucking the life from everything in its path. And then the pulsating, a rhythmic throbbing emanating from the depths of the lunar surface, a heartbeat of cosmic horror, resonating through the void, shaking the very fabric of reality. It was a seismic pulse, not of rock and earth, but of something far more ancient, far more powerful, far more terrifying. The signals, they shifted. The patterns changed, morphing into something new, something alien, something incomprehensible. The rhythmic pulse synced with the changes, a terrifying symphony of cosmic dread, a chilling lullaby of annihilation. It was a confirmation, a seal of our fate. The moon wasn't just reacting, it was transforming. It was becoming something else, something monstrous. It was shedding its familiar form, revealing a dark, terrifying truth hidden beneath its serene exterior. It was a reflection of the cosmic horror that awaited us, a harbinger of the end, a chilling testament to our insignificance. The moon, it was no longer our moon. It was something else entirely. Something alien. The images, they burned themselves into my mind. The sounds, they echoed in my skull, a cacophony of cosmic dread. The feelings, they consumed me, leaving me hollow, empty, a shell of my former self. I couldn't process it. I couldn't understand. My mind raced, a frantic whirlwind of thoughts, fears, and fragmented memories. The logic I once clung to, the rationality that defined me, crumbled into dust. I was adrift, lost in a sea of cosmic horror, tossed and turned by waves of unimaginable dread. The words, they failed me. My carefully constructed sentences fractured, my eloquent phrases dissolving into incoherent babble. My voice, once a steady, reassuring presence, cracked and faltered, a testament to the shattering of my sanity. Panic seized me, a cold, clammy hand clutching at my throat, squeezing the air from my lungs. My breath came in ragged gasps, my heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the symphony of my impending doom. I was losing control, losing my grip on reality, on myself. The walls of my studio seemed to close in, the familiar surroundings morphing into something alien, something hostile. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, whispering secrets in a language I couldn't comprehend, yet somehow understood. The air grew thick, heavy with the weight of unseen presences. My body trembled, racked with a terror that transcended the physical, a primal fear that burrowed deep into my soul. I felt the chilling grip of madness, the slow, agonizing descent into the abyss. My mind, once a fortress of logic and reason, was crumbling, collapsing under the weight of the cosmic horror. I tried to speak, to explain, to warn, but the words wouldn't come. Only strangled gasps, broken whispers, inarticulate screams. My mind, ravaged by the alien intrusion, was no longer capable of coherent thought. I was broken, shattered, lost. And the end, it was coming. Fast. Silence. Not the comforting silence of a quiet night, but a suffocating, oppressive silence, thick with dread, heavy with the weight of unspoken horrors. The kind of silence that screams louder than any sound. The static, it's gone. The relentless hiss, the chaotic crackle, the electronic interference that had become the soundtrack to our impending doom vanished, replaced by an unnerving quiet, a void that gnawed at my sanity, a terrifying emptiness that echoed the vast indifference of the cosmos. But it wasn't truly silent. There were other sounds, subtle, insidious, creeping in from the periphery of my awareness. A low, guttural hum, like the drone of some colossal, alien engine, resonating deep within the earth, shaking my very bones. A scratching sound, like fingernails on a chalkboard, scraping against the edges of my sanity. A whispering wind, carrying with it the chilling echoes of forgotten languages, ancient prophecies, cosmic dread. These sounds, they weren't of this world. They were alien, otherworldly, chillingly alien, hinting at a reality beyond human comprehension, a terrifying existence beyond our wildest nightmares. They were the sounds of a world ending, not with a bang, but with a whisper, a multitude of whispers, merging into a cacophony of cosmic horror. And the silence between these sounds, that was even more terrifying. It was a silence filled with anticipation, with the unspoken dread of what was to come. It was the silence before the storm, the quiet before the annihilation. The silence of a world consumed by cosmic horror, a world stripped bare of hope, a world facing its inevitable end. It's a silence that speaks volumes. A silence that chills me to the bone. A silence that tells me everything is lost. A silence that confirms the end is near. And in this silence, in this terrifying emptiness, I wait for the inevitable, for the end, for the annihilation, for the final, deafening silence. The silence of oblivion. The world, it's gone mad. Or maybe it's just me. The lines between reality and delusion blur, the edges of my perception fraying, unraveling. Is this the aftermath? Or the beginning of something far worse? Cities lie in ruins, silent monuments to a fallen civilization. The streets, once bustling with life, are now desolate, echoing with the ghosts of the past. The air hangs heavy with the stench of decay, a chilling testament to our demise. Humanity, reduced to scattered remnants, clinging to survival in a world consumed by cosmic horror. The questions, they haunt me. Unanswered, unanswerable. What was that message? What was the moon's response? What is the nature of this entity? What is our fate? These questions, these gnawing uncertainties, claw at my mind, tearing at the fragile remnants of my sanity. Fear, it's a constant companion now, a cold, clammy hand gripping my heart. Not the fear of death, but the fear of the unknown, the fear of the cosmic horror that surrounds us, the fear of what awaits us in the darkness beyond. It's a primal fear, a deep-seated terror that burrows into the core of my being, leaving me trembling, paralyzed, helpless. And the silence, it persists. A chilling, oppressive silence punctuated only by the whispers of the wind and the gnawing doubts in my own mind. It's a silence that speaks of loss, of despair, of the utter annihilation of hope. It's the silence of a world ending, a universe consumed by a cosmic horror beyond comprehension. And in this silence I wait. For what's next? For the inevitable. For the end. The survivors, if you can even call us that, we are haunted. Not by ghosts, but by memories, by echoes of the cosmic horror that shattered our world. The images, the sounds, the feelings, they cling to us, refusing to be released, twisting our minds, warping our perceptions. Sleep offers no escape. Nightmares, vivid and terrifying, replay the events, amplifying the dread, the despair, the utter helplessness. We wake screaming, drenched in sweat, our minds reeling from the horrors we've relived. The line between reality and nightmare blurs, leaving us perpetually disoriented, uncertain of what is real and what is merely a figment of our shattered minds. Trust, it's a luxury we can no longer afford. Paranoia reigns supreme, suspicion hangs heavy in the air. Every shadow holds a potential threat, every whisper carries a hidden meaning. We look at each other with distrust, our eyes searching for signs of madness, of alien influence, of betrayal. We are alone, truly alone, even in the company of others. The future, it's an abyss of uncertainty. There's no hope, no light at the end of the tunnel. Only the endless expanse of the unknown stretching out before us, a vast and terrifying landscape of cosmic horror. The whispers continue, insidious and persistent, reminding us of our insignificance, our vulnerability, our inevitable doom. We are left with the lingering dread, a constant companion, a chilling reminder of what we have lost, of what we have become. We are shadows of our former selves, haunted by the echoes of cosmic horror, forever scarred by the events that shattered our world. We are the walking dead, the survivors of a cosmic apocalypse, condemned to wander a broken world, forever haunted by the silence, the whispers, and the chilling uncertainty of what comes next. The end that feels ever closer. What was the true nature of that entity? Was it a singular being, a collective consciousness, or something far beyond our comprehension? Did it seek conquest, annihilation, or something far more sinister, something we can't even begin to imagine? The whispers, they offered glimpses, fragments of a terrifying truth, but the full picture remains elusive, hidden behind a veil of cosmic horror. Was the moon merely a conduit, a gateway, or was it something more, a participant, a willing accomplice in our destruction? Did the changes on its surface signal a transformation, an awakening, or were they simply a prelude to something far greater, something that will eclipse even the destruction of our world? The answers remain shrouded in the chilling silence, a void filled only with the chilling echoes of cosmic horror. What of the others? The billions who perished. Were they simply victims, or were they something else? Did the entity use them, manipulate them, transform them into something beyond human comprehension? Did they experience the same horrors, the same descent into madness, the same merging with the cosmic horror? The questions remain unanswered, gnawing at the edges of my sanity. And what of the future? Is there even a future? Will anything remain of humanity? Will this cosmic horror consume everything, leaving only silence, only emptiness, only the chilling indifference of the cosmos? Will our planet become a barren wasteland, a silent testament to our arrogance, our insignificance in the face of the infinite? Or is there something more, something we cannot perceive, something beyond our comprehension? These questions haunt me, these uncertainties consume me. They are the legacy of the cosmic horror, the lingering echoes of a nightmare that refuses to end. They are the unanswered questions that will forever plague the remnants of humanity, a constant reminder of our insignificance, our vulnerability, our inevitable fate. The chilling truth is that we may never know the answers. And perhaps that is the most terrifying aspect of all. The moon hangs heavy in the sky, a monstrous eye staring down at our ruined world. Its surface, scarred and twisted, reflects the cosmic horror that has consumed us. It is no longer a celestial body, but a malevolent presence, a silent witness to our demise. A constant reminder of our insignificance. I look up at it, at that colossal structure, that unnatural eye, and a wave of nausea washes over me. It watches us, patient, unwavering, waiting. Waiting for what? For the final act? For the complete annihilation of humanity? The thought sends shivers down my spine, a cold dread that burrows deep into my soul. The silence is deafening, broken only by the occasional whisper of the wind, a mournful dirge for a dying world. But even in the silence, I can almost hear it, a low hum, a pulsating thrum that seems to emanate from the moon itself, a heartbeat of cosmic horror. It's a sound that vibrates within my bones, a terrifying resonance that speaks of power, of ancient knowledge, of inevitable doom. The nights are long, filled with the chilling presence of the moon, its watchful eye never leaving me. I see it in my dreams, in my waking moments, a constant reminder of the cosmic horror that has overtaken us. It is a horrifying spectacle, a terrifying prophecy made manifest, a silent judgment upon humanity. And as I sit here, alone in the ruins of our world, I can feel it, a cold, alien presence reaching out, probing, testing. The moon is watching, waiting, and I know, with a chilling certainty, that our time is running out. The end is near. It is inevitable. The moon is watching, and waiting. A long, drawn-out, unsettling, low-pitched hum fills the air, fading slowly into silence. Perhaps this was never about conquest. Perhaps it was never about us at all. Perhaps we are merely insignificant players on a cosmic stage, pawns in a game far beyond our comprehension. Perhaps our reality, the reality we knew, was just a fragile illusion, easily shattered by the weight of the infinite. The whispers, the visions, the horrors, were they real? Or were they merely manifestations of our own fear, our own insignificance in the face of the unknown? Did we create this cosmic horror, or did it always exist, lurking just beyond the veil of our perception, waiting for the opportune moment to reveal its terrifying truth? The moon, that monstrous eye in the sky, is it a harbinger of doom? Or is it something else entirely? Something we can't even begin to understand? Something that exists beyond the confines of our limited perception, beyond the boundaries of our limited understanding of reality itself? We clung to our logic, our science, our understanding of the universe. But in the face of cosmic horror, those things proved meaningless. They were mere tools, insufficient instruments to comprehend the true nature of reality, the terrifying vastness of the unknown. Our attempts to rationalize, to comprehend, to control, they were all futile. The universe is indifferent. It cares nothing for our struggles, our hopes, our fears. We are but fleeting moments, infinitesimal specks of dust in the grand cosmic scheme of things. Our existence is a brief flicker, a temporary anomaly in the endless expanse of time and space. And in the end, we are left with only the chilling realization of our own insignificance, the terrifying vastness of the unknown. The truth, whatever it may be, remains hidden, forever beyond our grasp. The universe continues, indifferent to our fate. And the moon continues to watch.